Happy Monday, viewing family. We're back at it. Another exciting week of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, 7th day of April, 2025. I am Dan Kuntz. Quite a bit of cloud cover. We had some rain overnight. We're not out of the woods yet. As far as rain is concerned, we're at 48 degrees. Some locations are getting some light rain right now. Out of the Columbia Basin, you got Moses Lake and Ephrata. They're getting a little bit of light rain. Omak, you're reporting some rain as well. Have some light drizzles in some locations. In the Wenatchee Valley, the system that's paying us a visit has started coming in late yesterday afternoon into the evening hours. It gave us that overnight rain. It's very slow moving. It's just kind of meandering. And because of all the instability in the atmosphere, we could see some thunderstorms today. It's a distinct possibility, especially as we warm up. Rain, yeah. Wind, yeah. Going to be a lot of weather going on today. Things will calm down. Temperatures will be pretty much about normal for the whole week. That's not going to be a difference, but we're in for a very unsettled week as far as weather is concerned. If you haven't noticed already, I did. Very light traffic in and around the Wenatchee Valley for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's Monday, and a lot of people have Monday off. We don't, but we don't work real hard, so there's that. And spring break, yeah. All the local school districts, the big ones, Wenatchee and Eastmont, and all of the school districts, the smaller ones around the Wenatchee Valley, north central Washington, they're all on spring break. So a lot less kids, a lot less school buses, a lot less parents dropping kids off. So traffic very light today. There is that. News, yes. Weather, we already previewed that. Sports, the less we talk about the Mariners, the better. They played 3 rather exciting games in San Francisco over the weekend. They won none of them. Highlights, if you will, plus the weekend that was in prep sports. And this Saturday, the Greater Wenatchee Arbor Day Association brings you their annual plant sale. We're going to revisit my conversation with Debbie Fish, who's part of that fine organization. They're going to be at Antioch City Hall this Saturday. They'll be at East Wenatchee City Hall. They'll be at Martin's Marketplace in Cashmere and in the Wenatchee Valley, a new location, not at the Pybus this year. They're going to be at the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center, and that's where Debbie and I had our conversation last week. You'll see that in the back half of the program. Cameras, good to see some pretty interesting stuff this morning as we go to our PTZ cameras, and we'll start out with the Wenatchee Valley proper. Where that baby zoomed way out. In fact, you can see this tower with all the repeaters and transmitters and other equipment on it from up on the Wenatchee Heights. Of course, the hills are green, and we're in for more rain today. Had quite a bit of rain last night. You could hear it in a couple of locations. You can see the clouds hanging around, and it's going to be fairly cloudy most of the day today. Late in the afternoon, we'll gradually see some sunshine, but as I mentioned before, this system that's here now is really, really slow. It's taking its sweet time coming in. That's why we have a chance of thunderstorms, especially in the warmest part of the day. Good morning to the valley. Camera number 2. It's a guessing game. I don't know. They throw it up there, and I tell you what I think it is, and I think that's a bunch of clouds and fog. I don't know. I have no clue what we're looking at. I'll guess clouds and fog. There we go. Well, the cameras are up there, and so when they're up there and there's clouds and fog, that's all you can see, whatever that is. Camera number 3. That's live TV. What do you do? I don't know. I'm thinking maybe Leavenworth. I'm thinking the Tumwater. I'm just, by looking at the trees in front of the camera and the fact that we use this quite a bit, I'm guessing that's the Leavenworth camera, the one that's high above the entrance into the Tumwater Canyon. That's a pure guess, but I think it's an accurate guess, and it looks like they're getting some rain. Certainly low clouds and fog in the Leavenworth area. That looks pretty ominous. Camera number 4. That's got to be Billy Goat, I'm guessing. I don't know, but again, I'm guessing that's probably Billy Goat. Quite a bit of cloud cover up there, laying low over the Omak, Okanagan area. Again, Omak, you are getting some light rain right now. You're at 48 degrees. Quick heads up before I forget, they're doing some work on the Knapp's Hill Tunnel today. So you're going to have flagger-controlled one-way traffic back and forth on 97A at the Knapp's Hill Tunnel. They do this every year. They're just doing it today. They have to go inside. They have to clean it up, change the light bulbs, all the things that they have to do when there's no traffic. So if you're heading through the Knapp's Hill Tunnel, either direction, you are going to be delayed with single-lane flagger-controlled traffic. That is today and today only. By the way, wanted to remind you of that in case you're heading out and about. It is, after all, spring break, although nobody's going to go out and do any sunbathing at the lake today. Thunderstorms, a distinct possibility today. We can't rule it out. In fact, most of our viewing area is under the influence of possibly some pop-up thunderstorms. Most of them would be about 11 to about 2 or so this afternoon for those thunderstorms. Rain is definitely going to be a factor today. We're going to see hit and miss showers most of the day today. The chance of rain tapers off late in the afternoon. Even by, say, 4 or 5, we'll see a few sun breaks as well. And here is your timeline. The first one that you see there is a system that came through overnight. As you can see, it's just kind of meandering through. System number 2 is almost here. So this is your timeline in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. This takes us through most of the day today, at least till about the noon hour. That is last night's system, followed by today's system. Not as rainy, but certainly very unstable this time of the year. Of course, the days are getting longer. Sunrise 6:27, sunset 7:39. That's 13 hours and 13 minutes of daylight. So there you go. We're not done yet. We still got some more rain coming. And on top of all of that, going to be a little on the windy side. Today, gusty winds as far as most of it in the afternoon hours. This morning, about 11 to 16 miles an hour. We could see gusts here in the Wenatchee Valley, 22 to 25 miles an hour. That's your wind direction. And these are wind gusts, not sustained winds. Not too bad. Columbia Basin is going to get the brunt of it. Moses Lake, Ritzville, Quincy, you're going to be quite breezy as well. But everybody's going to see a little bit of wind, especially in the late morning to early afternoon hours. That's when the wind will be at its strongest. From the National Weather Service, it's a little bit of everything. Light rain, thunderstorms, a possibility. Gradually, the sun will come out. We'll get up to about 60 degrees. And again, a little on the windy side today, about 11 to 16 miles an hour into the late morning, and then noonish to 1 to 2, gusts as high as 25 miles an hour, certainly within the realm of possibility. Just about 40 for the overnight low tonight. The clouds will be hanging around, but there's no real rain in the forecast. The winds will be dying down. This is the end of the system tonight. And then Tuesday, partly sunny, right around normal, 57 or 58. Can't rule out a late afternoon raindrop, though. Tuesday night's overnight low 37, should be dry. Wednesday, the warmest day of the forecast period, probably, we think, about 61 degrees, quite a bit of sunshine. Wednesday looks good. Mostly cloudy Wednesday night, partly sunny Thursday, mid-60s, mostly sunny Friday, mid-60s. So towards the end of the week for spring breakers out there, looks pretty good. You're going to have to deal with some rain and some wind today and part of Tuesday before we dry out and warm up by the time we get into the weekend. All right. That's your weather forecast, the news, and a lot of it, including a significant announcement for the Wenatchee Valley YMCA over the weekend. That'll be our lead story when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
A ductless unit from Carrier can keep anyone comfortable. Take Shelly, for instance. She finds me time in her new attic-turned-home gym. And with her Carrier ductless unit, the temperature is always perfect. No matter how intense her workout gets. Carrier. Total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. Medicare can be overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it out alone. I've been helping people understand their Medicare options for over a decade. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand your coverage options so you can feel confident in your decisions. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or come and see me at my office located on South Chelan Avenue in Wenatchee between the YMCA and the Social Security office. I look forward to meeting you soon.
Central Washington Water is home to the Hot Spring Spa for over 45 years. Come see the Freshwater Smart IQ. It monitors your saltwater spa's pH balance, chlorine, and more. Or the cold plunge tub that will leave you feeling rejuvenated. Plug-and-play spas make hot tubbing easy. With great financing available, cold water, salt water, hot water, Central Washington Water has a spa for your budget and your lifestyle. Stop by today.
The family at the Epladolin want to help your loved one feel at ease in their new home environment. Epladolin offers beautiful one-bedroom and studio apartments. Residents enjoy 3 delicious home-style meals a day, laundry service, housekeeping service, and encouragement to make themselves cozy in their new home. Epladolin welcomes your family to come and visit their family. Epladolin, independent and assisted living. They make the complicated easy for you. Call today for a tour. clouds, fog, light rain, 48 degrees. What we have right now is pretty much through mid to late morning. We could see a pop-up thunderstorm. It's going to be windy, and we'll even see some sun breaks by the end of the day, but things will calm down for the rest of the week. It's 10 minutes after the hour. The Wenatchee Valley YMCA will place their Lake Wenatchee camp up for sale, and they're going to use the proceeds to create an endowment fund for outdoor activities and programs. In a Friday press release, the president and CEO of the Wenatchee Valley YMCA, Dory Foster, said, and I'm quoting now, the YMCA the needs of kids and families in our area are changing, and the Wenatchee YMCA must adopt its programs and services to meet those needs, close quotation. The YMCA estimates the camp has lost about $2 million over the last decade, and renovations to meet modern safety standards would cost tens of millions of dollars. The YMCA has owned the 25-acre Lake Wenatchee camp for the last 98 years. It is expected to go on the market this autumn. Well, Moses Lake Elementary School will remain closed for the rest of this year and all of the next school year due to ongoing electrical issues. Groff Elementary School opened in 2021 and has since faced multiple closures due to safety concerns, first in April of 2024 and then again last month. The school district launched an investigation which revealed construction defects, leading the district to reassess the long-term safety and viability of the building. On Thursday night, the Moses Lake School Board voted to sue the contractor, Fowler Construction. They're demanding the cost to repair and remediate the building. The district said placement plans for students are underway, and the staff of Groff Elementary School will be reassigned. A local nonprofit now owns the former Ernie's gas station property in Manson after community members rallied to create a park on the site. Our media partner, the Wenatchee World, reports the land will be converted into a public park dubbed Village Green. The Lake Chelan Community Services Council purchased the land Monday for $750,000. An earlier proposal from the Chelan-Douglas Port Authority to build a link bus turnaround on the site fell through. The gas station site on Wapato Way has not done anything for more than a decade. It's just been sitting there. The Community Council says it will now seek further donations and volunteer work to make the park plan a reality. The Community for the Advancement of Family Education, or CAFE, was recognized earlier this year at the 2025 Uplift Awards. The organization works towards empowering the Latino community through education, and it's led by Tona Chacon, whose parents, Alma and Jorge Chacon, founded CAFE. The nonprofit is also eyeing a new building, and they're hoping maybe the YMCA location on Arando Avenue might be their new home. We caught up with Tanya to learn more about the organization's goals for a new building and what it meant to her to accept the Uplift Award in her first year as director.
It was a really fun experience, and I was really excited to be there to share it with both of my parents, who are GUFS founders. So they went up there with me, and it was a really great experience because they were able to also be a part of that, because we got to where we are right now because of their dedication to community, their passion for supporting the Spanish-speaking community. And so providing those bridges where we can now continue to go over the bridges, to support with language access, to support with just ensuring that they have access to resources that are life-saving at times. So they were really those people that got us to where we are, and I am fortunate enough to continue the work. So I was really privileged and excited to be able to share that opportunity to go up on stage and accept the Uplift Award with them, because really it's because of them that we are where we are right now. And I mean, we can go around the city and everybody will know them. I'm still their daughter, and I think that's great because they're the founders, they're the ones who made it all happen, and I'm just happy to follow in their footsteps and do my best to continue to live up to their hype. In my first year, I think really, I think personally, the highlights is just seeing the team grow, and as they continue to learn and become more passionate about their community and the work that they're doing. I just love to see them really grabbing onto those tangible items that they're able to take in to their work. So if they're able to see that our community is needing support, just seeing their passion grow is more exciting than anything. When we hire people, you are looking for certain qualities, and really the people that we hire, they're part of our community. A lot of them went out seeking resources and oftentimes have found cafe as well. So knowing that we have a really great team who are every day becoming more and more knowledgeable about advocacy and different ways that we can advocate for our community who can't advocate for themselves, I think that's going to be our main pillar of strength is the team. Our goal is to have workspaces for our partners to come in so that when our community comes in, hopefully it's like a one-stop shop. And so that way, instead of having to spend all day or a couple days with kids in tow even and going from place to place, they can hopefully come into the multicultural, multi-service center, community center, and be able to access those resources right there and then. And we just know that with the work that we've done in outreach that there is a need for that people want something like that. They want a place to call home, even though they have their own homes, but to feel comfortable going somewhere like that. And so we're looking for a home for cafe, but also a home for our community. So we're really excited about that new move, and we're hoping to be able to close the deal in August. So yeah, it's really exciting to be moving forward and to just finally be in a new space.
Ballots went out on Thursday to households in the upper Wenatchee Valley. What's up on the ballot? Cascade Medical Center. Voters in the hospital district served by Cascade Medical Center in Leavenworth, they have a chance to reapprove the emergency services levy. That's 50 cents per $1,000 of property value, which pays for ambulance response and emergency room treatment. 6 years ago, the property tax levy passed with an overwhelming 80% approval rate. Medical administrators at Cascade say they're optimistic the tax rate will be preserved when the ballots are counted on Tuesday, April 22nd, but they still want voters to know how crucial it is for their emergency care.
Diane Blake, I'm the CEO of Cascade Medical.
Brian Pulse, I'm the EMS director at Cascade Medical. We cover about 1,200 square miles in our hospital district. So we cover from the top of Stevens Pass, all the Highway 2 corridor, all of Lake Wenatchee, all of Plain, Chumstick, Leavenworth, Shasta and Dryden, and all the way to the summit of Blewett Pass. And our hospital district ends right between the border of Dryden and Cashmere. And we do about 1,300 to 1,400 calls a year, 24/7. All weather conditions, anything they throw at us.
Speaking to the emergency department specifically, we saw just under 4,500 patients in 2024. The vast majority of those patients we treat here, and then they are released to go home or wherever their next stop is. We can take care of quite a lot of illnesses and injuries. We offer a telestroke program in partnership with the Harborview Medical Center. So patients who are having a stroke can now come to Cascade Medical. And we are able to provide the clot busting drug for the patients who meet the criteria for that, saving a lot of time on a really critical service. Our hospital emergency department is supported by a full lab and full imaging department. So also 24/7, 365, there's availability for x-rays, CT scans. We have point of care ultrasound in our emergency department. Certainly heart attacks, someone needing emergent surgery, those folks we would move to a higher level of care. Could be throughout the state. We can transfer patients to Harborview, to Sacred Heart in Spokane, for instance, to Children's, often to our partner down the road, Confluence. And so even if we don't provide full care for a patient because they need really specialized care, we provide that initial important role of quick diagnosis, stabilizing them, and making sure they get where they need to go in a safe manner.
So it used to be we did probably our biggest percentage was traumatic type of injuries. Now it's on the medical side. So the majority of what we do is on the medical side, not near as much trauma. And the medical side varies from symptom to symptom. So we do a minimal amount of search and rescue, but we're available for that. And yeah, we respond to everything. It's mostly on the medical side is what we respond to primarily.
The levy is really critical to maintaining the current service level that we offer. So the revenue that we bring in from the ambulance services and from emergency department cover just 60% of what it costs to be ready all the time. That 40% gap, we fill 20% of that with revenue we earn from other things we do in our hospital, and the remaining 20% the levy fills. So just from a perspective of what would we do without the levy, we'd have to look at how do we change the services we offer, because it's too big of a gap to fill with other revenue from our organization.
I've been involved in a lot of these levies, and the community has been fantastic at supporting them over the years, and so I'm very optimistic about it.
I just appreciate our community's support and all they do, using our services, trusting us with their care, supporting us through taxation, advocating for things that help us be sustainable. We have really supportive community, a fabulous team, and it's just all those folks working together make it happen here, and I'm really grateful for that.
The Wenatchee Police Department will host its annual Vulnerable Persons Registration event. It'll be on April 19th. It's an annual event, and it allows vulnerable individuals to provide police with critical information that could assist officers should an emergency arise. A vulnerable person is somebody with a medical, cognitive, or physical condition that may pose a risk for that person. Examples include dementia, autism, and more. When a vulnerable individual is believed to be at risk, their registry information is shared with responding agencies to help them best handle the situation. The event will run from 9 a.m. to 2 o'clock at the Pybus Public Market, again on April 19th. And Frueto Fresh, a drive-up breakfast business on Valley Mall Parkway in East Wenatchee, announced on Friday that they are going to close temporarily due to, quote, unforeseen circumstances, end quote. The Post explained that the business hopes to relocate but has yet to find another location. Customers are asked to stay tuned as they search for a new space. Frueto, first opened in 2020, offers a wide variety of smoothies, protein shakes, and breakfast items. The business will close at the end of this week. And that is the news at 23 minutes after the hour. It's Monday. It means we're going to be busy. We always are. Thank goodness we have people who know what they're doing. And at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock, out it comes the NCWLIFE Evening News. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock on TV. If that doesn't work, or if it doesn't work on your schedule, you just can't carve inside that specific time, 5, 6, or 10, go to the internet, because right around 5 o'clock, you'll find our news on our homepage, ncwlife.com, on our Facebook page, on our YouTube page. And if you think something might be newsworthy, you send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. Not a very good weekend for the Mariners. Yesterday was no exception. Sports is next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
NCWLIFE's news team is keeping an eye on North Central Washington. Join us each weekday evening at 5, 6, and 10 for the NCWLIFE Evening News, with interviews, in-depth reporting, and the kind of insights you can't find anywhere else. We're the hometown news station for the Wenatchee Valley, the Cascade Foothills, and up and down the Columbia River. Thanks for watching NCWLIFE, proud to be part of the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival.
Craving fresh Asian comfort food? Steam Panda is Wenatchee's popular, family-friendly Asian restaurant. They focus on providing guests with delicious, healthy, fresh, and natural dishes for an affordable price. It's time to enjoy one of their many popular house-made soup dumplings, ramen noodles, or pho dishes. And make sure to ask about their lunch and chef specials on sushi rolls. Steam Panda's Hawaiian poke bowl and salads are excellent with your favorite boba tea. Stop by or order online at Steam Panda today.
Caught in a conflict? Family, workplace, neighbor, business, housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. contact us to learn more.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
25 minutes after the hour in the ever-widening world of sports, Wilmer Flores had an RBI base hit with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th inning. And the San Francisco Giants beat the Mariners 5-4 yesterday. They sweep the 3-game series. The Giants improved to 8-1. That's their best start in 22 years. Victor Robles had to leave the game with a shoulder injury after making a great catch in the netting just before the game-winning hit.
Julio slugs this out to left field. This is cranked deep, and Julio, for the second time this series, goes deep in the first inning. It's a 1-0 Mariners lead.
He leaves a sweeper up in the zone, and he absolutely tattoos it.
Well, that was crushed by Julio, 423 feet. He homered in the first inning in game 1 off of Justin Verlander.
There you go. Gives himself a little extra room there in the shoulders after the bat flip.
To right field. Does it have the height? This is back, and it's gone. Cal Raleigh homers to right field in San Francisco, and in just his 4th full season of the majors has tied the Mariners franchise record for the most home runs ever hit by a Mariners catcher. A 24-foot high wall in right field, and it had just enough to get over the top. It's 2-0 Mariners.
Line drive, that'll be a base hit. Here comes Adames. The throw is wide. Giants are on the board. It's 2-1. Now both teams with 4 hits. Yaz drives one. Deep left field. It is out of here. Boy, did he get some backspin on that, and it's 4-2 Giants.
And Yastrzemski with the big hit, and for the first time today, gives him the lead.
And that's his first home run of the year, and the Giants have scored 4 times.
On a rare day where you see carry because there's not much wind, Yastrzemski takes advantage of it.
Through the left side for a base hit. Raley getting waved home. Luke Raley on his way to the plate. He slides. He's safe. Both runners now advancing. Moore to third. Bliss to second. And the Mariners in business. Ryan Bliss plates a run. It's 4-3 Giants.
You're giving Matos an E7 on this throw, but I'm kind of shaking my head on this one, Aaron. I thought this was a good throw to home plate, something that Patrick Bailey shouldn't have let get by him.
2 outs, runners on the corners, down to their final strike, the 2-2. Line past Chapman, and this game is tied. Robles scores. Here comes Cal Raleigh. He was being waved, now gets the stop sign. Randy Arozarena, down to the Mariners' final strike this afternoon, has tied it in the 9th inning.
Randy Arozarena getting on plane with that slider.
Now the Mariners find a clutch base hit here in the 9th inning. With their backs all the way up against the wall. Swings, high fly ball, sent down the corner in right field, and this ball, Randy Arozarena tumbles into the net. It is a catch. They rule it a catch. They have ruled that ball caught in right field by Randy Arozarena, who is down. Just awful to see one of the Mariners' key contributors, Victor Robles, having to be carted off the field after making one of the best catches we will see all season in baseball.
So Polanco is now at first. Dylan Moore goes back to third, and Mastrobuoni goes to right field. So here's Wilmer Flores. And a base hit. And here comes Matos. And this game is over. It takes one pitch. And Wilmer Flores sends everybody home. How about that?
Mariners return home. They have a 3-game series against the Astros. Logan Gilbert will get the start for the Mariners. Hayden Wazinski will start for Houston. First pitch is at 6:40. To the American League West scoreboard we go. There are the Giants beating the Mariners in walk-off fashion. Astros and Twins went to 10 innings, but the Astros gotten 2 more in the extra innings to beat the Twins. It was the Rangers just by the Rays. Rockies took care of the Athletics without too much trouble. Angels a little more trouble with Cleveland, but they beat the Guardians 6-2. The Seattle Kraken take on the Los Angeles Kings tonight in L.A. The Kings have won 4 in a row. They are 11-8-1, 11-8-2 in the Pacific Division. Seattle is 11-10-2 against the Pacific Division, and they are 5-13-1 when they commit more penalties than their opponent. The puck will drop at 7:30 on Kong TV. Prep baseball scoreboard from over the weekend. We'll start with Friday. Wenatchee remains undefeated in Big 9 play. First game was a tight one against the Grizzlies down in Sunnyside 10-8, but Wenatchee dispatched Sunnyside easily in the second game 17-1. Eastmont got their bats going. They just nipped Davis in game 1, then took care of Davis rather handily in game 2. And the only other undefeated team in the Big 9 in baseball is the Moses Lake Mavericks, and they remain undefeated in league play by swamping Eisenhower 14-2 in game 1 and then 5-3 in game 2. So much scores, we had to spill it over to page 2. Chelan shut out Royal 13-1, and then they tied Keona Benton. It was a non-league game, so they let ties go. I mean, why risk injuries to your pitchers and stuff like that? Kashmir took care of Cle Elum on Friday on the Diamonds, 7-3. Prep baseball on Saturday. Ephrata got by Toppenish by a run, and then Toppenish turned around in the second game of the doubleheader and swamped the Tigers. And Brewster and Okanagan, no real problems for the Bears in that one. More scores on Saturday. Warden shut out Lake Roosevelt. Jenkins shut out Liberty Bell. Colfax shut out Lake Roosevelt. And Cle Elum shut out Brewster in baseball on Saturday. Prep softball on Friday. Wenatchee swept Sunnyside. No real problems. 11-0 in game 1, 10-1 in game 2. Davis broke out the bats. They left him at home. Eastmont just crushed him. 21-0 in game 1 and 23-3 in game 2. And the same deal with Moses Lake, the Mavericks. No issues with Eisenhower. Blowouts across the board there. Look at that. Moses Lake 20, Ike 0 in game 1. Moses Lake 14, Ike 1 in game 2. And more prep softball scoreboards from Friday. Ellensburg swept Quincy 22-1 and 17-2. These are the kind of scores you sometimes get in girls fast pitch softball. On Saturday, in a non-leaguer, Eastmont hosted Issaquah, and Issaquah, well, they weren't very good visitors. They beat Eastmont 11-5 in game 1 and 11-3 in game 2. Cle Elum swept Chelan. Glen Elum, I don't think that school exists. That's my bad. 13-6 in game 1, 15-2 in game 2. The Wenatchee Panthers rolled right along, 7 goals on Moses Lake in a game we televised on Friday night. The Wenatchee boys soccer team is starting to put some distance between themselves and the rest of the Big 9. They have not lost a match so far this year. Eastmont gives up a late goal, loses to Davis 1-0. That was Friday. On Saturday, Quincy got by Ellensburg 2-0. Othello got by Ephrata on the pitch 2-1. Kashmir and Brewster played to a 4-4 tie. Again, it's a non-leaguer. Why risk injuries? And those are just some of the games that people are playing. It's National Handmade Day. It's National No Housework Day. I'll be able to accomplish that one. Today is National Coffee Cake Day. Not a big fan of that. But today, ladies and gentlemen, is National Beer Day today, because beer was taken off the bad list on this date, April 7th, 1933. Now, Prohibition didn't end until December of 1933, but we got a break 8 months before Franklin Delano Roosevelt signed the Cullen-Harrison Act on this date in 1933. After he signed the bill, by the way, FDR is reported to have said, quote, "I think this would be a good time for a beer." Because, of course, by 1920, the entire United States was subject to Prohibition, and that included beer. And even though Prohibition wasn't fully repealed until December of 1933, we got a head start. That's why today is National Beer Day. In Iceland, Prohibition lasted from 1915 to 1989. I kid you not. In Iceland, the voters banned all alcoholic beverages, which started on New Year's Day 1915. Then over the years, parts of the prohibition had been lifted little by little, all except beer. You would think beer would be the first one to be lifted, but instead beer was last. The ban on beer in Iceland was finally ended on March 1st, 1989. That's a long time. At the Wife Carrying World Championships, first prize is your wife's weight in beer. The top 5 states for beer consumption per capita in this country. Number 1 is New Hampshire. Number 2, Montana. Number 3, Vermont. Number 4, North Dakota. And number 5, South Dakota. So apparently the Northeast and New England and the upper Midwest, they like their beer the most. Winston Churchill once called the concept of prohibition, I'm quoting now, an affront to the whole history of mankind. And keep in mind, George Washington insisted that his Continental Army be permitted a quart of beer per soldier. It was part of your daily rations. And by the way, if you have cenocecophobia, that means you have the fear of an empty glass. National Beer Day today because it became legal again on this date in 1933. 36 minutes after the hour, today in history, the 2-day Battle of Shiloh concludes. April 7th, 1862. 2 Union armies combining to defeat the Confederate Army of the Mississippi in command of the Union armies. Major General Ulysses S. Grant in command of the Confederates. General Albert Sidney Johnston. Albert Sidney Johnston was fatally wounded during the Battle of Shiloh. They hoped to defeat Grant's Army of the Tennessee before it could be reinforced and resupplied. They made a huge gain in day 1 with a surprise attack. But unfortunately, not only did Sidney Johnston lose his life, but overnight, while they were all sleeping, Grant's army was reinforced by other divisions. And then the very next morning, an unexpected counterattack, and the Confederates were simply too tired to fight. They had to withdraw. It was a Union victory, but the Union Army had more casualties than the Confederates. Grant was heavily criticized for his actions in the Battle of Shiloh. But this remarkable statistic: there were more casualties in the Battle of Shiloh than all of America's previous wars combined. The American Revolution, the War of 1812, and the Mexican-American War, you combine all of the casualties of all those 3 wars, and it did not match the number of casualties in just 2 days in the Battle of Shiloh. And as we already mentioned, April 7th, 1933, 92 years ago today, prohibition in the United States is repealed for beer, no more than 3.2% alcohol, 8 months before the ratification of the 21st Amendment. That's why today is National Beer Day. Of course, as we all know by now, prohibition was a complete and utter failure. Let's do some birthdays. A lot of heavenly birthdays. If you like football, American football, you have this guy to thank, Walter Camp. Born in this date in 1859, he is the father of American football. He came up with the idea of the line of scrimmage, 4 downs to make a first down, hash marks, 11 men per side, the actual size of the football field by width and length, all came up with Walter Camp, and he was the very first coach to be paid to coach football. He was a head coach at Yale for a long time. Walter Camp, the father of American football, born this date in 1859. John McGraw, 31 years as the manager of the New York Giants. He won 10 pennants, 3 World Series. He developed the hit and run and the squeeze play, considered the best manager of his time, and was very upset that he couldn't have any African-American players on his Giants, although he tried. John McGraw inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1937. I had no idea today was Billie Holiday's birthday, and ironically enough, I listened to some Billie Holiday over the weekend. Why not? It's really good. Billie Holiday, born this date in 1915, but like most jazz legends, didn't live very long. Died in 1959 at the age of 44. The great James Gardner, born James Bum Gardner in Oklahoma, would of course gain fame as Brett Maverick, and of course the Rockford Files, still one of my all-time favorite shows. Movies as well, The Great Escape. He was an Oscar nominee for Murphy's Romance. James Gardner, born this date in 1928. Wayne Rogers, Trapper McIntyre, the first 3 seasons on MASH, and then afterwards he built a highly successful career as an investor and a strategist, and he was one of the top flight guys in Hollywood to keep other people in Hollywood from blowing all their money. He knew what he was talking about. Wayne Rogers, born in this state in 1933. How about some living legends? Francis Ford Coppola won his first Oscar for Patton, and then of course the Godfather saga, The Conversation, Apocalypse Now, The Rainmaker, one of the great American filmmakers ever. Francis Ford Coppola is 86. Russell Crowe won an Oscar for The Gladiator, plus The Insider and A Beautiful Mind. Russell Crowe was 61 years old today. And on weekends, when I got nothing better to do, I always watch a little sumo wrestling. And my favorite sumo wrestler from Mongolia, Inchinjo Takasaki, I love him. He's 32 years old today. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. They are our platinum sponsors. Still to come, an opinion from Mad Dog Mignotti, and the Greater Wenatchee Arbor Day Association has your big plant sale this weekend. Your chance to get some good plants really cheap. Debbie Fish joins me when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
I'm Jen Mueller. Watch for my show, I Cook, You Measure on NCWLIFE. It's part cooking instruction, part entertainment, and all about connecting over food and wine with your favorite Northwest athletes.
Watch I Cook, You Measure with Jen Mueller Mondays at 1, Wednesdays at 2, Fridays at 11 a.m., and Saturday and Sundays at 10:30 p.m. right here on the NCWLIFE channel. Global Car Care has the best customer service in the Valley. From the moment you walk in the door, their goal is to help you stay on the road, so you can keep doing what's important to you. Global Car Care certified ASE mechanics stand behind your automotive repairs.
Save hundreds, one seat at a time, at Boswell's. Right now, take $200 off each dressless seat. This includes each dressless Laurel and Mint dining chair and home office chair, each dressless recliner, and each dressless sofa seat. Spring is here. Refresh your home with stressless seating for less. Shop Boswell's, 2915 Easy Street in Wenatchee.
Welcome to Gilded Lily Home, where something extraordinary is waiting. You'll be delighted to find an amazing selection of specialty foods and tabletop decor. Browse their uniquely curated collection of gifts. Shop for yourself in their wide collection of jewelry and clothing, and for your home with their amazing hand-selected furniture, lighting, and decor. The Gilded Lily Home, where you can step in for inspiration and leave with beautiful items for your home, your kitchen, and your lifestyle.
This is Mike Mad Dog Mignotti, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, I'm an American. Just look at me. I'm white, I'm male, and if you ignore an occasional New Jerseyism, I speak unaccented English. But the reality is, virtually every black person in this country, and many Asians and many Hispanics, actually have stronger and deeper roots as American than I have. My paternal grandparents came from La Sidonia in Italy. And as my mom was actually born in Germany, I'm a first-generation American on her side. Now, considering this, I look at our current immigration issues and I wonder, with unrestrained deportation of people who, for all intents and purposes, are Americans, are we cutting off our nose to spite our face? This is Mike Mad Dog Mignotti, and that's my opinion.
It's the NCWLIFE Community Calendar, brought to you by Apple Valley Honda. Tickets are on sale now for Catch Me If You Can, the Apple Blossom musical presented by Music Theater of Wenatchee. Performances are May 1st through the 3rd and May 7th through the 10th at the Numerica Pack. The 2025 Arbor Day plant sale returns April 12th at 4 locations in the Valley: the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activities Center, East Wenatchee's City Hall, Martin's Marketplace in Cashmere, and Antie's City Hall. Each plant is just $5.
Merry Maids can clean your entire home, business, or vacation rental from top to bottom, inside and out. Merry Maids will even take care of cleaning your carpets, and they can pressure wash your home. Merry Maids has thousands of happy customers. They've been cleaning homes and businesses in our valley for over 25 years. Check out their glowing reviews at MaryMaidsOfWenatchee.com and call the cleaning experts, Mary Maids, to get your free estimate. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. So relax, it's done.
What's your awesome? Whatever it is, Washington Trust Bank can help you get there. Learn more at watrust.com/awesome.
When you've been in business for 40 years, it's because you understand change and you put members first, always. Now Works is announcing a change in their membership model. Up to 6 people on one membership that you can mix and match. The more people, the bigger the discounts. Introducing the Works shared membership model. One membership, friends and family, and flexibility. Works, the cleanest, friendliest, most helpful gyms you and your friends will ever join.
Every year on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, we visit with our friends with the Greater Wenatchee Arbor Day Association to talk about Arbor Day, Saturday, April 12th. Everything is the same as last year, except, well, nothing is the same as last year. For one thing, for you folks in the big city, the Wenatchee Valley, a new location where we are, the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center, not this year at the Pybus, but right here on Maple Street. Debbie, introduce yourself to our television family.
I am Debbie Fish, and I've been part of the Arbor Day since 2021.
So, Antioch, City Hall, Cashmere, Martin's Marketplace, East Wenatchee City Hall. Wenatchee's this year has moved from the Pybus Puppet Market here to the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center, and a good move. You guys could be here.
I think so. It'll be close to the road so people can get in easily. The parking lot is a larger. It'll have good parking. You won't have to fight for parking on a Saturday morning.
Yep, and the folks at the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center, we love them.
Yes.
They're really good folks. Thanks for chipping in, folks. So the usual shenanigans apply. It's your chance to pick up 5 different varieties of plant life, all of them designed to do just fine here in our climate and in our weather, provided that you do your job, which is to take care of it. Talk about the decision making on what are the 5 we're going to feature this year to make sure it's not the same as last year or the year before. The folks have to figure out, okay, how do we keep people coming back and not offering the same 5 plants every year? How does that process work?
Well, part of it is what we have available for selection, and part of it is that we wanted to choose smaller plants this year. We've had some large trees in the past, but you know, it's really hard to put a big ponderosa pine in the middle of the town because it's the fire risk and just very big. So we chose things that were, or plants that were a lot smaller, such as, I think the smallest one is about 15 feet high at the max, but that depends on how much water it gets. And then about 3 feet wide is the narrowest.
Up for grabs at all 5 locations, and some of these are all 4 locations. Some of these are going to be more popular than others, so we'll talk about that in just a little bit. Just one tree this year, the thin leaf alder, is the only tree available. So talk about the alder.
Yeah, so it is actually a little bit smaller. It's about 30 feet max on the height, and again, that depends. It's a medium. It's a faster growing, actually. That's the faster growing one, but it also it depends on how much you water it. And but it should fit into your landscape a little bit easier because it's a little more narrow and a little bit shorter, and not the 40 or 50 feet tall ones.
It will eventually, when you plant it, you do have to remember it will eventually get that tall. So you got to remember.
And it can be pruned.
Right, there you go. The Greens Mountain Ash. I'm not going to do it in Latin because my Latin is terrible. Talk about that.
That is a really good plant for riparian, which is along creeks and lakes so that you can repair and do a good soil erosion protection.
Holds the ground a little bit?
Holds the ground
So if you have maybe a slanted lot, it would be good for that kind of deal?
Yeah, it would be, yeah.
Okay, because you don't want your backyard ending up in your living room.
Right.
Yep. The red flowering currant. This is a plant that I think is very attractive.
Yes, and it's going to go fast because it is very popular. I've actually talked to a few people who have had the red currant before, and they are really excited to have it an opportunity to get more plants. It is also good for making hedges, and all of the plants are good for wildlife, birds, small mammals, and large mammals as well.
The blue elderberry, also known as the Sambucus, the blue elderberry.
The blue elderberry, yes. So that is actually very common around here up in the mountains and up in the valleys. So it's kind of fun because it also has a fruit that birds can eat, and it's just a fun plant.
And perhaps maybe the prettiest of them all, the lilacs, which do really well in this climate. And I'm surprised that it hasn't really been part of the rotation of plants and shrubs from years past.
Well, it really depends on our source and whether it's available or not. The lilac also it's not a native, but it does so well here, and it is a drought tolerant, as well as very good with very extreme cold. So it's gonna last a long time and grow really well.
For the uninitiated, just in case you're worried, you go, okay, I'm going to get maybe one of each or two of this and three of that. How does that work? Can you take, it's $5 donation per plant. Can you do $5 and take 5 lilacs?
We really prefer $5 per plant because we turn around and next year we have to buy plants, and they cost us pretty close to $5. It depends. It's almost $4 by the time we have shipping and everything.
Right.
Then, yeah, so $5 will get us going for next year.
Here at the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center, they open their doors, so to speak, at 10 a.m. For the real popular plants, I've seen people in line half hour, 45 minutes before. Which one do you think might be the hottest item that people are really going to want, so they're going to want to be here before 10 a.m.?
I'm thinking the currant and the lilac.
Okay, just because.
And I could be wrong, it could be all of them.
It could be all of them. You can get, again, it's $5 donation per plant. So, and you can donate more if you want. As Debbie just mentioned, all the money that's left over goes to the seed money, pardon the pun, for next year's Arbor Day celebration.
Yes.
And you want to be ahead of the game on that.
Correct.
For somebody who knows finances, we want to keep her in the loops on that. We mentioned all 5 of the varieties of plants. Are all 5 of these going to be at all 4 locations?
Correct.
So you don't have to worry about that.
Right.
Okay. For you folks up the Columbia River, it is again at the Antioch City Hall, as it's been for years. You folks in the Upper Valley, Martin's Marketplace in Cashmere, here in the Wenatchee Valley at the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center, and at East Wenatchee, the East Wenatchee City Hall. It runs from 10 a.m. to 2 o'clock, except in East Wenatchee, right?
Correct. So when we're done at 2, then whatever plants we have left, we're going to take back to East Wenatchee to store them. So if you can always check back and see if we still have some of the other beloved plants.
In case you're curious about how am I going to get these things home, you're kind of on your own on that. You need to bring your own bag, right?
It would be very helpful to bring your own bag.
And the best part of all of this, experts on hand to tell you what you need to know about what you might be interested in, where it needs to be planted, when you can plant it, if you can't plant it yet, what you need to do to keep it going. All the experts will be at all 4 locations.
Correct. Correct. And we also have a Facebook presence, so there's information on there as well, and we'll have QR codes at each of the locations so that people can scan it, because the young people really like to do that.
Yeah, if you go to their Facebook page, it's pretty simple. Greater Wenatchee Arbor Day, Greater Wenatchee Arbor Day Association. Thank you very much. They actually has pictures of all the plants that we just talked about as well. And again, probably the most important thing is a lot of these are drought tolerant.
There's actually 2 that are really drought tolerant, and when we say drought tolerant, we mean that you really need to give them water the first couple of years for them to be able to become drought tolerant. The other ones, if they're in your yard, they'll need more water, but they're native, so they're going to do well here, but they will need a little more water than the drought tolerant. It's the lilac and the, now why can't I think of it?
Oh, I have it right here.
You have it right here, yeah. Oh, the red flowering currant.
Okay, which is I think, just a gorgeous.
Yes,
gorgeous.
I'm excited about that myself.
I am too. So again, it's the Greater Wenatchee Arbor Day Association, the 2025. Everything is the same as last year, except 5 different kinds of plants and trees. And for the Wenatchee folks here in the big city, it's going to be right here at the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center. Kudos to those folks for putting up with you guys.
Yes,
so,
very much.
How many volunteers from your organization does it take to put this thing on? I know it's a lot.
Well, we have about 3 or 4 per location, and then I think we have about picked out 10 people that meet between January and April to make sure, actually through May, because we kind of have a follow-up meeting as well. We're always looking for more people as well. We have some people that are wanting to retire, like Bonnie Orr.
Right.
And we have some other people that it's just nice to have more hands on deck.
I've already talked to Bonnie. She's not allowed to retire until she turns 50. So
perfect.
That's all there is to it. $5 suggested donation per plant. Basically, it's $5 per plant. Let's just put that out there. But if you could do $10 per plant, that would be great. So you guys can have something in the kitty for next year.
That would be a great help, yes.
Where are you going to be at, Debbie, on Saturday the 12th? So
I'm going to be right here.
Right here. There you go. It's good to see you.
Thank you.
Happy Arbor Day.
Yes, happy Arbor Day.
And folks, don't forget, Aniette City Hall, East Wenatchee City Hall, Martin's Marketplace in Cashmere, and here in the big city at the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center for Arbor Day on Saturday, April 12th. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Columbia Basin Dispute Resolution Center. We are a local nonprofit serving Grant and Adams counties, helping businesses and people resolve difficult issues so they can move toward a better future. We offer help with workplace disputes, residential issues, family matters, and can train your staff in conflict prevention and resolution skills. Call us at 509-237-8401 to learn more.
Are you hungry enough to eat the end out of a rhinoceros? I know how you feel. Come on out to Blueberry Hills. You'll have a great time. We've got excellent food, a feet on the furniture kind of experience, and we won't hustle you out of your table. If you want a real farm experience, make the trek to Manson to Blueberry Hills, where you sit, you pick, you eat, and you visit. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
Hey. If it feels like everything you say to your teenager goes in one ear and out the other, you're not alone. But even when it seems like they aren't listening, they are, especially when it comes to a topic like drugs. Find time in everyday moments to share facts, teach refusal skills, and answer their questions about drugs, including opioids like fentanyl, because your words matter. Get the conversation started today.
Your piece of land demands the very best equipment. Kubota equipment. The #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S. with professional-grade mowers, versatile sidekick utility vehicles, and compact tractors that get it done right. All backed by unmatched dealer support. Talk to your dealer today to schedule a demo.
Well, as you can see behind me, quite a bit of clouds, some low-hanging clouds. Some of them are packing some moisture, some spittles of light rain. And the system that's paying us a visit right now, which began basically right around sunset last night, gave us some rain, a pretty good dose of rain, as a matter of fact, in the evening hours. It is a very slow-moving and meandering system, which has led to a lot of instability in the atmosphere. We have the possibility of just about everything today. Here is your rain. This is what started last night as it passed through north central Washington and the Wenatchee Valley, headed on through Spokane. The next system is right on the tail of that, and that's going to give us a little more rain today. Not as much as we had last night, but certainly showers and thunderstorms a distinct possibility, as we are in for a pretty wet period today and tonight, and spilling into Tuesday, and then starting Wednesday. Things look pretty good. But again, we have a chance of everything today. We have a chance of some light rain, which we've already had, thunderstorms as we warm up, and on top of that, wind. It's also going to be quite windy at times, especially in the afternoon hours. From the National Weather Service, right around 60 today. Again, light rain, thunderstorms possible, wind possible, and some late afternoon sunshine. We get it all today with a high of about 60. Mostly cloudy tonight, right around 39 for the overnight low for Tuesday. Partly sunny, a lot calmer, a little cooler than today with a high of 57. And then we hit a nice stretch of weather. Quite a bit of sunshine Wednesday with a high of 61. So a warm and drying trend will start on Wednesday and really get going on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. In fact, for you kids who are on spring break, and that's pretty much everybody, once you get to Wednesday, things look pretty good. That's it for us. Have a good and safe Monday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.